if something is not on your calendar, then it typically is very difficult to get done. I, as the CEO here, and as an office worker, shall we say, have been really buried in productivity over the last few years. And by that, I mean following YouTube channels, looking for any advantage with my day to day and how I can get the most out of the work that I'm doing so that I'm not working all hours. And I've gone through many different ways of doing that to the point where in this video, I'd like to describe how I work with my time blocking. And time blocking is not a new phenomenon that I've created by any means, but it is something I think that more office workers, and even I would say in our field, can start to do. Because what I'm seeing is that we typically have I would say, ambitious ideas of how our day's work is actually done. A few things in this video, I explain how to time block your day and how to understand how long tasks take. So watch along, get some feedback into the comments. Let me know how you time block your day. Is your day as easy to time block as mine, or is it worse or harder? I'd be interested to hear how people do this, because again, this channel is about bringing value, and value sometimes is feedback for myself where I might learn something. So please have a look, take a little bit of a listen, and let me know what you think. If I let a day get dictated by emails, texts, and meetings and non-stop interruptions, I will end up being a very unproductive and ineffective CEO. So one of the methods that I use is time blocking using Google Calendar and my Google Tasks. My world is essentially operates around a way of managing everything inside Google Tasks. I'm not someone that's very good with paper. I use everything digitally. So let me talk to you about the method of how I go about blocking off my day so that I get super productive. One of the biggest things that you have to do, in my opinion, when you're in a senior leadership role, is you have to be intentional about what your day is going to look like. I have used Google Calendar now for a long time to do time blocking. I believe it to be one of the most important things that I do to show my effectiveness, and also to not get to the end of the day feeling like I wasn't productive, I didn't get anything done. It felt like the whole day got away from me. And also, what another piece that really helps is that it allows you to think about what the day is going to be. What is about to happen? Where is it going to happen? Who are you supposed to speak to? What's the likelihood of the day being productive for deep work? The Cal Newport phenomenon that I've learned a lot about over the last couple of years. It has been a game changer. So, everything starts in my calendar. It's not on the calendar. It doesn't exist. I block my day in chunks: deep work, meetings, admin, thinking time. So this isn't cramming up. This isn't about cramming the day. It's about being realistic. And that's very, very important. So I'd like to do it late at night when I do my kind of close down for the day, when I do my nighttime journaling. I think the biggest thing for me is to look at it the following day as to my calendar related to Outlook. So that's my committed business kind of meetings. And then looking for the gaps in between those meetings to figure out what I can do and where I can do it. So a big piece of that is for me to sit down and look at where I am as regards my Google tasks. So over here on this side, I have work that's not urgent, work that's urgent, and work must do. Today must do. So today must do is what I commit to first thing in the morning or late at night for the following day. That's the stuff I am going to 100% get done no matter what way my day goes. And that's the intent. So when I move over here to my Google Calendar, the way that I have sorted this is color coded. Yellow is my wellness. It's the start of the day. It's what I use every day. My best efforts to be up. My alarm goes off at 5 a.m. I wander downstairs, feed the pets, and then start into my meditation and my journaling for 30 minutes. Roughly can be that 15, 20 minutes. Then I start getting ready for my workout. Workout, warm up, all that stuff gets done, right? That's yellow. When I finish that, I leave my 30 minutes here. That's shower, warm down, say hello to my kids as they get out of bed, chat to my wife, get ready to move over and commute to the office. And I work then from 7:30 to 8. Just initial emails that came in overnight. We have a couple of people that work out of time zone, so stuff can come in overnight. Stuff that regularly comes in that I use to follow through and figure out where I'm at for the day. I don't let the day get much more past the 30-minute mark when it comes to emails. You could sit there all day looking at your inbox and react to everything coming in. It's not productive. So then what I start to do, once I've done this, is I start to review what I've set out from the day before. Yellow, as I said, is wellness. Red is reoccurring tasks, stuff that happens all the time that I have every day blocked. I can move these around depending on what I see or how I want to move them. I can move them around. So that was yesterday. I've figured out here. So I wanted to kind of show what I had. So green is my today must do Google tasks. So I'll bring across any of these. I'll create the time block video. I'll create the work on newsletter for video for February 1st. And then I have these urgent one here, shareholder cadence. I need to work on some stuff with my COO, Tim, and Darren, the chief estimator. Update Tim on direct reports, talking about what we want to do there with some of this, how we might manage that, make him a little bit more efficient. The QA QC program that we're working on with Nate and Adam and the team. So this is some of the stuff that's not on for today. So let me look at today. Let's kick over to today. So this is how I set up today. I email catch up. I had a Southeastern Votech come in and met with us. I had 15 minutes. That took a little longer, but I knew it might take a little longer. So I left a load of space around that visit because I wasn't sure what that was going to be. My general super form automations, that took about 30 minutes. I sat down inside the Smartsheet and changed that. So everything green is what's coming from today must do. It moves over and it's slotted onto the calendar with intent. How long is it going to be? What are we going to do? And do I think I'm pretty accurate with what I plan on doing? So right now I've got research my next channel video. I'm working on that right now. That's an hour. So another thing that I like to do is my little clock here that I have. It's super, super important for me. Being someone who played sports for a long time, looking at the clock and how long we've got left is something we all do. But again, with this clock ticking away in my eye line as I'm working, it concentrates me. My phone is on silent, my headphones are on, my door is closed for this 60 minutes. I like to do 30-minute chunks because I just think it's 60 minutes is unrealistic to sit looking at the same thing. Outlook is not on my screen. I can't see Outlook. I like to have these noise cancelled headphones on. I also have my nature here in front of me that I have in my ear. So I like nature sounds. Some people like classical music. Some people like EDM with no words in it. I found nature sounds that are not too rash in my ears, like a stream trickling through birds singing in the background, does not drag my attention, keeps me focused on what I'm doing. It also, I think, I suppose, is as you work through the day, you can move stuff around. Maybe the newsletter video doesn't happen. Maybe I go to lunch and something comes up and I have a phone call I need to take. You can move these things around. Just drop them in there a little bit more. But now we know we got back to back. Maybe move that a little bit there. It all works. Okay, it all works in the sense that you're a bit intentional about what you're trying to do. I love that. I think it's been a game changer for me. It's something that people need to work on. Whether you're a project manager, you can also do this. It's more difficult when you've got the phone ringing and a client's calling you. But if there's just certain blocks of the day where you have some change orders you need to write, you've got some RFIs that need to be reviewed, you've got some budgetary stuff you need to get ready for meetings. Take your day, look at what you're doing, take that particular stuff that you want to get done that day and enter it in. I've had days this week where, I was at Vistage on Tuesday and, I didn't have anything in here. Basically didn't really plan on anything. Vistage was my plan. I left a big gap behind there. I got back to the office here about, close to 4:00. Did some emails. I got some tasks done, but it was realistic that day is going to be pretty much blocked off. And I also feel like that when you do it like this, you just say to yourself, I'm committing to Vistage. I spend a lot of money on that on a monthly basis. I need to look at the ROI. A big piece, get yourself one of these things. I think they're like $10 or $15 on Amazon. They're very, very important. Again, it gives you focus on what you're doing. It allows you to look down and see what you've got left. And what all of this then starts to do is very similar to our estimators. You start to understand how long things take, which then allows you to get more realistic with how long you can afford to give that on your time blocking calendar. That's a big piece of this. You want to be able to see how long are things taking so that you can be realistic about what you can get done. You can, that's a very important fact that people always overcommit and underdeliver on their own personal time because it's okay, right? They're just letting themselves down. This is kind of critical. And then tomorrow I'm going to have my Saturday filled out. Over here, I have a big long list of stuff in here, but over on the right hand side, I have a personal list. I've got to get some salt ready for it. I've got to test the snowblower for the storm that's coming Sunday. All of that stuff will be dropped in here on Saturday. It's a lot lighter. But again, it allows me. And the biggest thing that I find then at the end of it is I've got more time. And when I'm there and I'm with my kids or I'm in the evening, I feel like I've had a productive day. And now I'm going to be able to work towards spending quality time with the phone put away because I've just had a productive day. I had all of this stuff that I committed to, and I managed to commit and be able to complete. Because you will some days have them where it gets away from you. But again, working on 80-20 rule, 80% of the time, I have found that I'm getting pretty much close to the calendar, if not 100%. There's going to be that 20% where life happens and stuff. But again, your role would dictate how successful this is. If you're getting pulled from pillar to post all of the time, you have to be less committed on that stuff. But you just then also would have to say to yourself, I just have that admin stuff. I've got to get it done. Find a spot in the day, block it off, be very, very regimental and disciplined about it. And you will be having a lot more better mental health days professionally and even personally, as I said, on the weekends. Just operate with intent. That's what this time blocking method does for me. I hope it can do the same for you.